Oh, yes. Yes. Let me turn my ringer off so we're not distracted, man. Shout out to Spider Cuz, too, by the way. You know what I'm saying? But hey, yo, it's another Sunday, closing out on Sundays for the entire year that is 2022.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still time to talk about wrestling like nobody else in the world. And we are prepared to do that. And as you know by now, we are the premier conversation known as the First Black Champ podcast. And I am still the pick of this podcast wrestling-ish camp from the port.
And I am JR Bang. Make sure you rate, like, subscribe, wherever you get your favorite podcast. Just go ahead and follow the Barber's Chair Digital, home of First Black Champ. Make sure you go ahead and get that merch. You see we got the red on. You know what I'm saying? So you already know what it is. We're a step closer to being the Heart Foundation. It ain't pink, but it's red. It don't
You
work.
know what I'm saying? Buy the red or fake dead, bitch.
Dead ass. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you follow us on Instagram at FBC.pod, Twitter, FBC_POD. Great show. And I think this is a show where, because of how we talk on the pod, this is an episode where people are expecting us to tackle it a certain way.
Yeah. I think this is one of these defining moments that makes the FBC pod what it really is. First Black Champ podcast. I mean, hey, whether y'all been around since July of 2017 or you just got wind of this past summer in 2022, I think you get a good idea of how we give it up, who we give it up for, and why we gonna stand on how we give it up moving forward. I know I'm prepared to do that.
Yeah,
I'm more than prepared.
To the point, I got the iPad out. I'm taking notes. I am totally prepared for this episode, because you would have thought that the news that, that came out this summer from, I think it was like Raja Girl, I think it was the Twitter, whatever, that Sasha Banks had negotiated her release with the WWE.
Yeah.
And it was not made public. He broke the news. A lot of people were like, this can't be true. What's going on? Then it was rumors back and forth that she was going to come back. I told you all that a source that I know that was close to the situation during some events had said, oh, no, she ain't coming back. Naomi is a toss-up, but she ain't coming back. And then the word became official this week that Sasha Banks, well, not really official, but, after she reportedly took the date for Wrestle Kingdom that's going to happen in January, that she will begin taking dates in 2023, starting January 1st. She's no longer with the WWE. We're going to talk about that, because you would have thought that would be the biggest news here.
Right. And it was supposed to be.
It was supposed to be. But no. Not in the world of First Black Champ.
Yeah.
Not in the world from Camp from the Port and JR Bang. Not in this world. The news, the biggest news of the day, and one of the biggest wrestling stories of the year. Nothing's beating Vince McMahon. But this is in the 2 through 5 region, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Mandy Rose has decided. Well, Mandy Rose was released from the WWE, according to reports. Mandy Rose was released from her contract. Let me read exactly what one of the publications said, because I want to make sure we get all this stuff right.
Oh, yeah. The information is very important before we move forward.
Yeah, I don't want to leave none to chance, ladies and gentlemen. I want to make sure we get all this right. I don't want to wing it, even though we don't, from the most part. Yeah. According to reports, the official reason was Rose was posting some explicit material, including videos and photos where she was nude, that is against WWE policies, especially as a PG product with family-friendly sponsors, including people like Mattel.
Yes. They make the action figures, right?
They make the action figures, ladies and gentlemen. I will say that when I first heard the news, I was shocked. I mean, she did lose to Roxanne Perez at the latest NXT episode.
Yes.
Roxanne Perez had won the NXT Deadline women's event, making her the #1 contender. I'm thinking, next NXT premium live event, we get those two. Mandy Rose is the longest running NXT champion, like third longest running, I think it was.
414 days.
Yeah, 414 days. And she's still very popular. Even some was expecting, if she loses the belt, a decent run back on the main roster.
Yeah.
So that happens. We're all shocked. A couple hours later, we hear she's released.
Yeah, man.
So, what's your thoughts? Because I'm shocked.
Man, so there's a lot of thoughts to be had here, right? First, I think it's important to say that I don't think Mandy Rose was really trying to have this ever be like a media swarm type of deal, right?
Yeah.
Because from what I read, and I don't know, and this is actually the great point to correct me if I'm wrong. Like, she wasn't on like the major platforms. Like, she wasn't on Patreon.
She was on her own.
Yeah, she wasn't on OnlyFans.
She was on Fan Time. Like,
yeah. Like, I've never heard of that before right now. Like, so they officially owe her a check. Like, her profits need to increase if they not already. So, and to me, I think with that, you're already practicing a new level of discretion, because you didn't hit the platforms that the WWE even watching. So, like, she wasn't on Twitch. She didn't have her own YouTube channel. She didn't have, you know what I mean? She didn't do none of that.
She didn't hit the known platforms that give you that type of content that she was delivering.
Exactly. Now, second thing, I think it's important, because I saw this on Twitter a lot from a lot of the, I won't even say lifelong fans, but at least fans, from 96 till now.
Yeah.
Because I saw a lot of the, oh man, I don't get it, because wouldn't wrestlers on Playboy, like wouldn't China and Sable and Tori and all them on Playboy? And I was like, but that was easily 20 years ago now, if not longer. And although we're going to get to our point, but I just want to speak to where we are in 2022. Like, look, the Attitude Era ain't the Bible for how everything goes in wrestling. Like, it's just not. Like, we got to get out of that mode of, oh, but in 99, you did. In 99, I was in high school, bro. Like, you think I'm still doing the shit that I was doing in high school? Like, no. Well, some of it, but not all of it. But, you know what I'm saying? There's evolution to be had here. So, and we can't ignore the fact that, Paige got dismissed, released, however, Brad Maddox, Xavier Woods, like, there's
you know what?
I get it. No, I get it.
No, wait, no. I forgot all about that.
Oh,
right. I forgot all about that.
Hey, no. and they handled it accordingly. And that was her phone. Like, she didn't even do that. Like, somebody else in there was like, yo, you gotta roll. We can't. You getting your face busted.
Because no, she didn't get released. Then it was the Alberto Del Rio shit.
Yeah.
And it was a suspension, really.
Yes. Because the first time they kind of summed it up to revenge porn and let her rock out.
Oh my God. How can I forget about that?
Yeah, I don't know how.
Wow.
I won't lie to y'all. I check out those videos quarter annually because it's just interesting to me.
There you go.
So we do live in a time, and this is also a perfect time. Third thing, because the lady officially hates Triple H because she saw the clip of why China can't be in the Hall of Fame after we watched the China doc that Vice did of her basically her last year on Earth. And she was like, she tweeted Triple H telling him that he needs to apologize to China, personally induct her into the Hall of Fame, and then apologize for being a piece of shit human being and the reason why she's not here. I was like, wow.
Who said
you're Krista.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
I was learning stuff. Hey, that was great. That was wow.
You know what I'm saying? So the third thing I want to say is that Triple H is sticking to his script because he's pretty much the HNIC right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or the HLIC, the head legend in charge, right? So he's handling this to stand on his word for what he said about China and why she can get in the Hall of Fame as a member of DX because we can't replace that. But to give her own spot, it's like, oh, but when they Google her, they're going to show her getting gangbanged in a wrestling ring by doinking them. It's going to get weird. So, all of that being said, this is too fucking far, though. Like, this is too far. And I say it for this reason. Mandy Rose is the initial prototype for what Vince McMahon wants as a woman and the WWE. If you do not believe me, see Sunny, see Sable, see Trish Stratus, and even see Tori Wilson. And at this point, no matter how you feel about where she did what she did, you could put into this that Mandy Rose is now better than all of them. Yeah, Trish Stratus is probably the asterisk, but I don't think Trish Stratus has ever had a match that was better than anything in the NXT run of Mandy Rose. So, what is this really about? Is this about nip flashing, cat patting, and riding on medium hard penises in under boxer briefs? Or is this about Triple H and the WWE? Well, because he ain't head of accounting, but is this about the WWE not paying Mandy Rose properly for the residual cachet they received because she looked like that? Because bang, I think it was 2019. No, it was 2020. It was going into 2020. When I was telling you that Otis and Mandy Rose are the hottest story in the WWE.
You was ready to give her the WrestleMania main event.
Because that one's supposed to happen.
For the women.
Right. She got herself and Otis over to a degree that he won Money in the Bank. All right. And they was giving her like BS title opportunities, but it was clear as day that not only did Mandy Rose level up, step her game up, she was having better matches, but she also got a guy that was destined to be released or mid-carded forever over.
Yeah.
Even with the Alpha Academy right now, y'all know Otis ain't over as when he was lusting after Mandy Rose.
Oh, hell no.
Which is literally the antithesis of what Demo Bang?
White men, ages 18 to 34.
And you don't think a good 30% of them look like Otis?
And you don't think a good 80% of them was paying Mandy Rose?
And this is what it is. See, they didn't give her the AOL opportunity. They didn't give her the Playboy opportunity. They didn't give her even the salacious exclusive content. What was that? A WWE exclusive where you can show the little nasty pics or WWE Raw. They didn't get her the magazine or the website. She didn't get none of that.
I'm remembering a lot of shit now. I remember when they had the little pay-per-view exclusive when all of the women was doing the on the beach.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Shoots on the beach.
Mad water and oil everywhere.
Wow,
That's what I'm saying. So look, so y'all not affording her the same opportunities that you gave other women in the WWE. So she went and got her own. Now, look, I don't know if Mandy Rose was the name she used on her account. I don't know. I don't know what's the deal with the ownership of the IP. None of that.
It was Mandy Sachs, man.
Hey, So she's like, my issue with this is Vince McMahon, albeit possibly to his detriment now, knew how to capitalize fetishization and sexual desire of his women's roster. And those women got paid. Another sad, unfortunate point about the China doc is that, once she got released, no more Playboy, no more movies to, no more red carpets. And it was a time, it was a short era, but there was an era where after the boob job, everybody wanted to max China out. Mm-hmm. Vince did that. And Vince, again, it's probably to his detriment, because this is all going to tie in with the show today, I feel. But
tie into this segment.
Vince was like, keep these bastards jacking off to the girls. Who cares? We're making money. Everybody's getting paid here. And even though it was like, we're now past the PG era into just the G era pretty much, but it's G era with attitude tendencies. And see, that is the contradiction that they need to solve before they release somebody like Mandy Rose. Because you can't, to me, you can't sit here and release Mandy Rose for patting her cat in private, but you let New Day get off all the innuendo they can about limp dicks and busting all over each other when they tell you that they're the champion and simulating giving facials. Like, you can't have them do that when she patting her cat in private. Like, I didn't even know that existed. You can't do that when it's bitch this, kick your ass that. You got women pinning each other in some of my favorite sexual positions every week.
Oh, yeah. Shouts out to Rhea Ripley.
You dig? You can't do that. I don't think you can do that. I don't think that's fair. But again, favor ain't fair. And look, let's say, for the most part, for an actual Raw, SmackDown, NXT, pay-per-view, premium live event, whatever, let's say Mandy Rose ain't necessarily the main ticket attraction, right, for the actual show. But if you go online right now and you just look at women in wrestling, you are going to find that Mandy Rose is firmly in the top 3 of women being oogled, googled, and stroked off to. And there is a price that comes with that. So, does Becky Lynch sell more t-shirts? Yeah. But if you had to tell me who should get paid more just for presentation alone and what they're going to do for the residual,
intangible
attracting and revenue stream for the WWE, I'm going to pay Mandy Rose more than her, bang. I'm sorry.
So, I'm conflicted.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very conflicted. And that's what this whole thing is. See, we can't hold the WWE for shit that used to go on 20 years ago. Because just like in life, business changes. The WWE in the 80s wasn't the WWE in the 90s.
Yes.
The WWE in the 90s wasn't the WWE in the 2000s. And they're all definitely not what the WWE is now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember somebody on Twitter saying something about Miss Elizabeth and we should be ashamed of ourselves for thinking Miss Elizabeth was raw. And I had to tell that person at that time, it wasn't even about Miss Elizabeth being raw.
Right.
It was the aura behind Miss Elizabeth. Like, she was just beautiful.
Right.
A beautiful person.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what she was. It was grace.
Yeah, she was like the Princess Diana of
right.
Like
it was right. Bingo. The Princess Diana of wrestling. And Vince McMahon saw that he had his Princess Diana. She was just with the Macho Man. But we all saw the Macho Man's presence become bigger because he had the woman with grace on his shoulder.
Yes.
Wasn't nobody trying to see Wendy Richter's titties?
Yeah.
In 1984?
Yeah, no.
And nobody was looking at, I mean, I'm not saying that Wendy Richter wasn't beautiful for that standard. But at that time, the people in the stands was like, yo, what's up with this Wendy Richter versus Leilani Kai match? Yeah. Now, was there men that was like, yeah, of course, because we men.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that wasn't the WWE selling point.
Right.
The WWE in 1988 wasn't selling the sex appeal of Sensational Sherry. Right. In fact, when you think about it, I can't really think of a time when the WWE sold Sensational Sherry's sex appeal. At all. And Sensational Sherry was hella decent for 80 standards.
For sure.
Hella decent. Sure. But we wasn't Google eyeing her when she was even the queen.
Even the Shawn Michaels era, she was semi-caked up.
Yeah. I remember maybe this happened at your high school. Or not, well, no, grade school, middle school at this time. I have to think about when Raw came out. It's 1993. Yeah. Making us both old.
Right.
For me saying high school. Oh. But I remember not having cable, hearing about Raw on Tuesday, and one of the homies come to me like, yo, did you see Sensational Sherry's titties pop out on Raw? That made me want to go watch Raw. It wasn't Yokozuna versus Bret Hart, fam. It was, yo, they wild on Raw like that? Yeah, man, titty popped out, fam. You got to watch that. Did you tape it? Nah, fam. Hey, Ma, y'all got to get cable, fam. Monday Night Raw. That literally, dead ass. This is not a joke. Sensational Sherry's breast popping out, the rumor, is what made me go want to watch Raw. And the fact that I went when the network came on, and I went to those past episodes where she was going up against Luna Vachon, and they was fighting each other, and my nan breast popped out. You have to understand, I was upset. Nearly 30 years later. Like, yo, fam, why nothing popped out? Well, I thought it's the whole reason why I wanted to watch Raw. That's when sex appeal started coming into the WWE. It was Sunny, then it was Raw, and the ring card girls on Raw, and all that. Then it leads into but a lot of y'all babies that's on Twitter that watch wrestling, y'all know the attitude era.
Right, exactly.
This ain't the attitude era no more, ladies and gentlemen.
No,
we're past all of that. We're past. We have not seen a WWE celebrity, the star, pose for Playboy since what was it, Maria or Tori?
Yeah, I think those are the last two. Wasn't that like 2000, 2001?
Yeah, so it's 20 years. So we're done with that. And it's been years since we've seen like dress fights and mud pit matches and bra and panty matches. We're in a different day and age in the WWE.
Yeah.
But the WWE still have not come to terms with that era. It's like the steroid era. The attitude era is basically the steroid era in baseball. Y'all knew all that shit was going on. Y'all allowed it to go on. Now that it's over, some of the stuff you just want to turn the blind eye to.
Yeah.
I mean drugs, alcohol, boobs.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Everything that make a white man 18 to 34 go wild.
Man, cash out.
But now we're in a different age. So I understand the confliction for some because y'all talk about how back in this era they did this and did that. It's a different time.
Yeah.
And even when I looked at the video, the photos, I said to myself, well, Natty got to get fired too, because her and her sister be slapping each other breasts every YouTube episode.
Bruh, I want to go up there.
That was my first thought. Literally, my first thought after getting sent the pictures was, if this was she getting fired for, Natty got to go too. Because they slap. I'm talking about they Ric Flair chopped titties. Every YouTube joint to the point where I see him now and I be like, yo, what's the point of this? What? I get off on this, fam. The first time it was the second time it was the third time it was okay.
Right.
What are we doing here?
And they're not trying to hide it.
No, they're not, because every episode it be them scantily clad cooking or in the pool or talking about like smoothies. It be some of the most mundane shit, but they half naked. So it's like, what are we doing here? But then I saw the cat pat and the tug. And I said, at that moment, when I got sent that, I said, that's why she got fired. That's why she got fired. She didn't get fired for the nude skinny dipping, underwater breasts. Just
man.
She didn't get fired for that, ladies and gentlemen. She didn't get fired for the sitting on her man. You know what I'm saying? Why, like you said, why he on medium?
You know what I'm saying?
In the pants. No. She got fired for the cat pat and the tug. Minute you saw the tug, like when you saw the cat pat, hand go under, cat pat, I was like, oh, I see why.
Yeah, that's mouth-watering action right there.
But then the tug came, and I said, that's why. That's why. That's it. That is it. That is all. See, there's an art, ladies and gentlemen, and a fine line when it comes to this type of shit. It is. It's a fine line. And low-key, a lot of women in wrestling, they go through it a lot of times. With the, like, you see an abundance of wrestling, women in wrestling on OnlyFans now, and their own platforms, Fan Time and Brand Army and all of these things. Look, for us to look at women wrestlers and not think that they should not be using these platforms to get paid when they wrestle half naked anyway would be dumb.
Yeah.
The fine line, though, comes when even past the nipple is everything below. And Mandy Rose went too far once she went down. And knowing what the WWE is now, you can't and think Mattel or any of these children's-based companies who look at her as a face of a brand. She's one of the faces of NXT.
That's very true.
Let's not get that mixed up. She's one of the faces of that. So when it comes to that brand, it's Mandy Rose and Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
You gotta have a conversation.
Yeah.
Or let somebody go. When is that? If it was just breast in the water, suspension. Let's have a conversation. And if you want to keep doing it, then keep doing it. But we can't have you here. But once it was pat tug, I was like, okay, I don't like it.
No,
but I get it. And let's look at the WWE women. Like we've said on this show, this is probably the baddest stable of women that they've had ever. Even, I guess you would say, the lowest on the totem pole. Fine.
Yeah.
Like every.
Because to me, it's not bad looking.
At all. Like everybody, and she's not throwing out her sex appeal.
Right.
Either.
No.
Like everybody. The majority of everybody is doing that. And I remember when Ember Moon had said what she said about the company, saying, you know, be more like Mandy Rose, use your sex appeal and all of that and stuff. And she felt some type of way about it. But even your best wrestler or your most popular wrestler, Bianca Belair, she's not throwing out her sex appeal. Yeah. She's just fine.
Right, exactly.
So if I'm a Mandy Rose, if I'm a Liv Morgan, if I'm a Carmella, and I know that I'm probably making top dollar here, but I could double or triple because white men ages 18 to 34 gonna pay $25 a month to see my butt,
man,
and a little bit of cleave. If I'm go get that money now. With that being said, and then plus you're gonna probably make more than what you make, so you basically making double or triple.
Yeah, absolutely.
Matter of fact, Shorty that was with the UFC, I forgot her name that quick, but she was an AEW for a hot second. Wrestler. She said she made more money through her OnlyFans style account than she did at the UFC.
Remember, right.
And that's why she was like, if this is what it is, I ain't got to be here.
Right. That's a fact.
I'm making all this. I ain't got to get my ass beat or beat nobody else.
And then, and the real quick point while you get back to yours, Ember Moon did all of that talking, and now they highlighting how she's unsafe in the ring. like that's all they talking about now.
Right.
You could have just kept with the little Cherokee Pocahontas little joints with that piece of wagon you got there, just and still been a great wrestler or whatever. But now they're talking about, now the only conversation about you is that you unsafe, and people trying to make Jim Cornette racist for pointing that out.
Yeah. Now, when you start patting and tugging, that's when things get a little bit over the line.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Because Gigi Dolan, she throw out a pack every month that make the wrestling internet go wild.
Man,
it's a pack a month.
You know what I'm saying?
And there's others.
Twinkie Factory open.
Man, Liv Morgan, she throw out a pack. Internet go wild. But ain't no tug and no pat. It's just a photo. True. So Mandy has to make a decision of where this is for me. And the WWE apparently didn't let her make that decision because they was like, yo, you out.
Yeah, that's unfair.
And she said, content gonna come up now. Reportedly, she's welcomed. She welcome to come back in open arms. It's and to a point, I agree with you, Kemp. To a point, I agree with you. It's the only point is everything below. Because even forgetting about what was going on with the Paige, Xavier Woods, Brad Maddox thing, the company was in a different place then.
True. Very true.
So, and I hate to say what I'm about to say, even though it's Mandy Rose, it's still NXT, fam.
Yeah.
It's still NXT. She ain't Bayley. She ain't Charlotte. She ain't Becky. And she might not be any of those other women too. That's on the main roster. That's holding up. So the WWE can be like, low key, the WWE really can be in this case. And we don't know it. Hey man, we're gonna let you go. Go ahead and get your money. When you ready to come back if you want to come back. We just can't have you. We ain't gonna interfere with this check though, because you clearing money. They saw the content. You clearing bread. We ain't gonna interfere. Right. Because apparently, reportedly, Matt Bloom is the one who sent the stuff to Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Now it's if
fuck
that's
him. He officially on my hate list. Fuck Matt Bloom, yo.
It's not confirmed if he was a subscriber or it was just leaked to him. But it's reported that he went to them and was like, hey, fam, hey, Mandy Rose out here wild. Look at this. Yeah, they was like, word.
Yeah. So he never been real. He never been real, bro. How you gonna tell mature DX that, bro?
Hey, Shawn Michaels is a God-fearing man.
Yeah, man.
Triple H, I don't know.
Ever since he put Philippians on his chest, he been acting up, man.
But yeah, man, that's why I'm conflicted. There's a lot of confliction to this, but at the end of the day, I see why they let her go, and I ain't mad at it, especially when she's still getting the cake off her cake. Because right after that, apparently she put a video up of her and her fiance, Tino Sabatelli, former NXT superstar, former Tampa Bay Buccaneers safety.
Oh, he lit.
Yeah, like she put up a picture of them two where they was in a nice little compromiser position. So it may be their step from softcore porn.
Hey. Maybe
they see where it's going and they like, let's go ahead and let it go.
Hey. It's well, again, first of all, and now I got a new exit. Fuck Matt Bloom. He's now on my hate list. You know what I'm saying? Shout to Ice and Joe Budden. He on my hate list. He number 2. You know what I mean? But you know, it is so I do want to say this though, Bang, because now here's the new semi-slippery slope. And I'm not saying that the WWE handles things like Dana White per se, but if, and this is and this may be a big if depending on who the talent is, if I can make more money doing a quarter of like just activity and doing 100% less damage to my body over here on these whatever third-party site, Patreon, OnlyFans, Fan Time, whatever it is, Instagram subscription, whatever it is, versus from this multi-billion-dollar company, how do they expect to keep top-tier talent in the business, period?
So I got an answer to that. I was hoping that was the direction that you was going. We gonna go there. Look, the Mandy Roses and others like her, they love wrestling, but they figured out a way to monetize off of themselves. Now, is it through wrestling? Yes, because nobody know who Mandy Rose is or Mandy Sachs is if it wasn't for Mandy Rose.
Facts. That's fact.
If it wasn't for wrestling, we don't know who Liv Morgan is. She's probably still working at Hooters. Yeah. If it wasn't for wrestling, we don't know who Penelope Ford is, or other women in the industry. But if it wasn't for wrestling, we don't know who we know of Charlotte Flair.
Right. Yeah.
We don't know who Becky Lynch is. There's wrestling lifers. Yeah. And then there's people like Bianca Belair, who I say is not going to be in the WWE in the next 5 years because she's going to be the biggest action star in the world. I stand on that. And she didn't come from wrestling. Wrestling found her.
Right.
Mark Henry. Mark Henry found her. She found wrestling. She loves wrestling now. But I also believe that she sees the out.
Yeah.
And she sees the light at the end of the tunnel. And I stand on it. Will Packer go by the rights to Cleopatra Jones? They write a script. They hire Bianca Belair. In 2 years, Bianca Belair is the biggest female action star, in the world. You can't even name a female action star right now.
Yeah.
The lane is open.
And you know The Rock is going to call her.
Hell yeah. GP.
The Rock calling her for whatever. If they do Fast 11, if they do, I don't know, he's in so many damn movies. Look, Black Adam 2, like whatever it is.
The lane is open for Bianca Belair right now, and that was the lane that Ronda Rousey was supposed to be holding down.
Yep.
But the lane is open for Bianca Belair, just as a black woman, to be the biggest action star of our time. That ain't OnlyFans. That's movie money. So you got
really pays.
Right. You got wrestling lifers. You got movie and TV money. You got entertainment money. But then you have women who know they fine as fuck. And they know white men ages 18 to 34 go pay to see just a little bit.
Yeah.
Have we seen the average wrestling fan, ladies and gentlemen?
Man.
The average wrestling fan on Twitter look like they don't see no ass unless they pay for it.
Believe it.
Or unless they go to Pornhub. They may very well got a wife and kids. Yeah. They may very well. You can look at me and be like, oh, you look like that type. I'm not saying I am because I'm not. But somebody gonna say, oh man, y'all wrestling fans are all the same.
Nah.
Fat out of shape guys. Whoa. Being that I'm fat, I guess I'll put myself in that boat. That's the only reason why I put myself in that boat. But I'm also a black man.
That's right.
And a lot of us that's out in the world that throws themselves out there as a wrestling fan.
You're damn right.
You know who is? White men, ages 18 to 34. So if I am Mandy Rose and I see Bill from Boise, Idaho, is sitting out here like this.
You're right.
If I see dude like this,
so you gonna be like,
man.
Yeah.
Peace. You think women in wrestling don't see that?
Yeah. And
there's some that toe that line. When I saw the Vice doc about Stardom and women in Japan, a lot of the women was uncomfortable. They was like, damn, we know we got to play the game. And they was going to them tables. Autograph.
Wow.
When you go to Comic-Con and you go to all, I told you the story about when I saw Maurice at Comic-Con and I shut the fuck up. She was that damn fine. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
She bad. And you know what happened
in real life.
And you know what happened when her table opened up? Line.
Yeah.
You know what happened? Go to these events and you look at how uncomfortable some of these women are too.
Yeah.
When you see Mike from Las Cruces, New Mexico, who flew all the way up here to see you and pay you $250 for your pick and your autograph, all of a sudden want to hug you and take a picture like this.
Right. So he can squirt all over that same picture until you meet him again.
Right. Basically, your average wrestling fan beats their meat looking at porn. So guess who's taking advantage of it? Mandy Rose. And she's making hand over fist, move that money up from $25 to $40. Marks was like, there ain't nothing to it but to do it. I got the money. Shit, let me go ahead and fix the credit card. Hey, boom, I'm straight. $40 a month. Let me go ahead and see you. She gonna take advantage of it and she gonna make bread off of that. And I could do it with less wear and tear. You know what? I can't be mad at it. Go ahead and do your thing. Because again, that white man 18 to 34 is looking like anytime we see you on NXT anyway.
Right. Yeah. And if you think that she won't get a minimum of 1,000 subscribers a month, you on your own bullshit.
Man, she got it right now, G.
Right.
Because all the promotion that came from that. Look, her getting released was the best thing that happened to that fan time thing. Yeah. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong. I saw it, but if you leaked it, you know what I'm saying, and knowing this happened, you got to look like a goddamn fool. Yeah, At the same time, I watched it for show purposes, and I got a good understanding of what was going on. So it is a confliction, and I get it with the WWE, but we're at a different time. Yeah. And I'm along the lines of let Mandy get her bread.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm 100% with you. And, you know, and even again, favor ain't fair. Life ain't fair. You know what I'm saying? Condoms and bras come in different sizes, right? So we get that. I honestly want to know what's in her contract because obviously she signed a brand new one going to NXT. Because for that, because like they almost treated her like, oh, it's zero tolerance for anything in the guidelines of this.
I think it was zero tolerance with the cat pat, fam. It was the tug. We saw her lips, G.
Yeah.
We basic. She tugged, and it was like, "What?"
Oh,
once that happened, I was like, can't defend that.
Right.
Can't defend that at all.
You know what I'm saying? And listen, Mandy Rose aesthetically is a superstar. You know what I'm saying? She is one of the she's in the small percentage of women that can literally just exist in a nice outfit, and she is going to just draw revenue. And I encourage, men too. Look, if you have that superpower, if God blessed you with that talent or that genius, then do it. Then do it.
Because white men 18 to 34 is going to look at this.
You know what I'm saying? Because who am I to tell you to not cash out? Because look, 40 times 1,000 is 40,000, all right, per month. Who that ain't named Roman Reigns making that in the world of professional wrestling?
Hey,
right? let's just call it what it really is.
Andrew Garza out there doing the Alex Wright with a mask on.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Shout out to Alex Wright, man, my guy. But yeah, man. I mean, it's unfortunate, but I will say this. I also think, and this is my last, I guess, like bullet point on this. I also think that the whole uproar previously is also why they did the zero tolerance thing. And Bang, I'm going to go as far as say, man, I think it's really obviously the cat pat and the rub for sure, but just even the third party content creation piece, because we talked about that on the show as well. Because you know what, they don't have time for like when Paige was on, oh God, how am I gonna make money? Well, you should be figuring out your exit plan when your neck got broke. Like that should have been your thing, and they kept you on payroll and let you do your thing, and you still act like that wasn't enough. Because then you're not even necessarily an on-screen viable commodity at that point, and they still looked out. I thought that was unfair. I'll stand by it. Austin Creed, aka Xavier Woods, he has the best strategy for all of this. He's like, hey, look, I'm really me everywhere else but the WWE. I don't know why everybody doesn't feel the need to do that, but hey, Xavier Woods is still the blueprint for how to handle all of this.
Yeah,
and he got caught in his own scandal and totally dodged. He got another tag team title shot
like that week.
Yeah, he was like, they got their joke off and they won the titles.
And then joked about it again. And then joked about it again in a rap battle.
Yeah.
With the Usos.
He's like, man, that was Austin Creed. I don't know what's your problem. Xavier Woods showed up to work, bro. I don't know what your problem is.
He be on time.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, question for you.
Mm-hmm.
How does this look for AEW or Impact? Mandy Rose is out there as a free agent after a non-compete runs out. How does this look? Are you throwing the Brinks truck at her?
Listen, man. They need to, but if the WWE couldn't pay Mandy Rose and she was getting fan time and WWE money, I don't think you understand the amount of furlough that has to happen in AEW and Impact to make that make sense.
Look, man, I'm with you. I'm to the point where if she making that much money off of that, why wrestle?
Man,
look, bruh, I love going to work every morning, but if I win the lottery, I'm quitting.
Man, listen.
This is the lottery right here, G. If I know that I'm gonna be getting all these subscriptions and they $40 a month, or even if they tiered and Margs is spending money on them high tiers and shit, what it look like me trying to jump off of a top rope for?
Yeah,
I love it, but I don't love it that much, fam.
Right.
I'll talk to y'all. I'll talk to y'all in 2 years.
Yeah, man. Reasons.
Maybe I feel like right. Maybe I'll do it then. But shouts out to one of the many fans of First Black Champ. From what it looks like, it's a lot of women in both organizations that's out here getting that OnlyFans money. And they towing that line. So if I'm Impact, whatever budget I got left, I'm out. And I'm saying, hey, Mandy, yo, what's good?
Yeah.
We can talk. Let's try this out.
Man, listen. If I'm being real, and I'm being very seriously real right here. If I'm Impact or I'm AEW and I see this Mandy Rose situation, I immediately add a new addendum or a new clause to every contract that's asking for cross branding for my platform.
You bringing in 360 deals for this one, huh?
Absolutely. I'm like, look, man, do your shit. I just need you to say, I'm coming to All Elite. hey.
The double entendre.
You dig what I'm saying? Because, listen, the other companies can't do what the WWE just did. They're not in that space.
Nah.
And it is not fiscally responsible for Tony Khan to start handing out 6- and 7-figure contracts to women that are the prettiest on the roster and that might get the most clicks and might get the most retweets and likes and all that. It's not fiscally responsible because his wrestling product ain't generating that much bread.
So basically, you ain't trying to see Mandy Rose versus Britt Baker DMD.
Not on AEW, maybe on Fan Time. Maybe on Fan Time. I don't want to see that there though. Because hey, they're gonna do the story wrong anyway, so they might as well just go to Fan Time and just Britt Baker randomly pop up at the crib while dude on the couch on Medium watching them fight. That'd be the better bet. And Tony Khan be like, hey, yo, I just want 5% of that. Just give me 5% of that because I did book it. I booked it. So give me my 5%. But you know what I'm saying? Do your thing, sweetie. Do it.
Hey. Look, man, let's move on to the second biggest story this week. It turned out to Sasha Banks, man. It has been reported for months that she was not coming back to the WWE. And then Dave Meltzer and Sean Ross Sapp reported that it is indeed true that Raja Girl, I think that's Buddy's name, that his reporting was right and the news that he got was right, that Sasha Banks will not be coming back to the company. She is done with the WWE. She negotiated her release and she's available to start taking bookings on New Year's Day 2023. It's just some of the news that's coming out about her departure, which has been interesting to say the least. Well, one, it's reported that she will be wrestling at Wrestle Kingdom 17, which I've said on this pod. Matter of fact, I said a couple of episodes ago, before this even came out, was like, yo, don't expect that she about to go to Japan and go crazy because that's her dream. Her dream has always been to wrestle in Japan. So if you are a free agent, basically, this is the best time to do it. Go crazy. Get on your. I'll wait for that. But then is also, could she show up at AEW or show up at Impact? She's trademarked her name. She's also trademarked Mercedes Moné, and a couple of statements, revolving around the name, which did lead to, she out, and she'd be another name when she goes to that place with whole nother names for her moves and all of that. But the biggest thing that I heard through all of this, this Sasha Banks stuff, was in that negotiation with the WWE with a possible return, she wanted to be paid like Becky Lynch and Charlotte, and they said no. I immediately thought about you because I know how you feel about Charlotte, not necessarily Becky, but Charlotte and Sasha Banks. And hearing that there's a report that says that she wanted to be paid like both of those stars, and the WWE said no. Your thoughts?
Man. So when they say no to me, it is literally clear disregard for the third woman who makes the entire women's roster on either brand more legit week by week. Those three women, for anybody that is unaware, Natty, Charlotte, Sasha Banks. Now, whether you want to put them in order or not, that's your own thing. I don't care. But Natty gets your TV ready. Charlotte gets you main event ready. Sasha gets you match with anybody ready on whatever stage. Because whether it's been Raw, it's been Royal Rumble, it's been WrestleMania, it's been SmackDown, there is not a moment that Sasha Banks cannot complete at a high level. She is the only super over heel and super over face that exists in the women's division as far as the WWE is concerned. That's why Becky's back to being the man, because big time Bex really didn't work, because people want to cheer for Becky Lynch, and I get it. And even I was like, you know what? Let's just go back to being the man. Because look, you wouldn't have faced that we all kept going when you was river dancing. You wouldn't have faced when you had the goggles and the jacket and the 3/4 limb jacket. That was hard. It was when you turned into the man and you were basically like Irish last Steve Austin that people really were like, okay, I'm going to stick with this and rock with this forever.
I saw what you did there, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Irish slash Steve.
You dig what I'm saying?
I wish. You call
Let's
it.
go, man.
It.
Hey, man, the pig, nigga. All right, but then you have Charlotte Flair, who everybody just universally hates Charlotte Flair, but she's just that damn good, right?
Right.
She doesn't really have to turn left or right. She can just exist as Charlotte Flair, much like her father. Hey, look, you don't know if I'm heel or face. I'm just gonna pick somebody to fight, and this is gonna be what it is, because when I talk my talk, it's gonna be facts. And I just need somebody to disagree with it every week, right? Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks, no matter how they are going to position it, Sasha Banks made Charlotte Flair be in that space. All right? When they hot potato the Raw Women's Championship for damn near half a year, if not longer, who did Charlotte Flair have to keep beating to solidify the character that she is right now?
Sasha Banks.
When it was time for Bayley to either be super over the top face or super super face every time, whether it was NXT or SmackDown.
Yeah.
Who did they call to make sure that happened with no distinction, with no gray area possible?
Oh, that was Becky. I mean, that was Sasha Banks.
Yes. And the residual of that was Charlotte Flair was able to do the exact same thing for Becky Lynch when she hated her. Then you have Bianca Belair, the current biggest star and really in the company next to Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not gonna limit her to women at this point. Bang. Who is or what is the rivalry that solidified her superstardom in the space right now?
Road to WrestleMania, Sasha Banks.
Now let's move over to the most unsatisfying sports entertainer / celebrity / cross world superstar that exists, Ronda Rousey. Okay? For the first 18 months, technically longer because she left. There was 2 matches that Ronda Rousey had that made her look as legit as they could, all pun intended, in her road to the triple threat match with Charlotte and Becky for that WrestleMania. I'll give y'all one. Surprisingly, it was Alexa Bliss. Who was the other person that once Ronda Rousey beat her, they said, oh, wait, maybe she's ready to take on and win both of the titles?
Sasha Banks.
So with that just being the resume that a fan can see with just optics, a fan is watching this. I don't work for the WWE at all. How are you going to tell me as well as her that she don't deserve Charlotte or Becky money when directly or residually she made both of them?
I unfortunately got 2 reasons.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Yes.
2 reasons.
Because you're going right where I want you to go.
She dipped twice.
Yep.
I think it's a no-brainer to give her that money.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer to give her that bread.
Yeah.
You just ran down a resume of all resumes. And we were saying on this pod how Sasha Banks could very well be the greatest women's wrestler of all time.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like she's on vacation or, got the extended vacation like Charlotte Flair.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like she had a baby like Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
It's not like she got injured like Bayley.
Right.
She was like, yo, I'm out.
Yeah. She's like, hey, fuck y'all.
Fuck y'all, I'm out.
Yeah.
The first time, if we had the conversation, because we had sources telling us that it was a group of black wrestlers talking to her like, look, let's work this out.
Right.
It don't look good for all of us either. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It was mediated. She back.
Right.
Then it was, I don't like how we being booked.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah.
That's twice.
Mm-hmm.
Fool me once, shame on me.
Mm-hmm.
Or you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Yes.
We give you that. We give you that after you left us twice. I don't care what the reason was.
Right.
It's like a perfect example. And it was something that it wasn't bad, but I had to eat it because I was like, okay, it's right. He right.
Right.
You said, I'm going to invite Bang to Nashville to SummerSlam. I'm going to see what's up.
Right.
But I'm going to throw the invite out there.
Yeah.
I said, let me see. And you was like, I'm going to throw the invite out there again. And I was like, I'm there.
Right.
And you was like, oh, okay, cool. All right, back.
Yeah.
All right. This went how it should have went, but I didn't expect it to be that quick.
Right.
But I got shit going on.
Yeah.
That's why.
Mm-hmm.
But even with shit going on, you going to give the person, I'm going to give you 2.
Yeah.
It's probably not going to be 3 because you've probably given me your answer without giving me your answer.
Right.
That's the same thing with Sasha Banks.
Mm-hmm.
That was the same thing with a lot of other wrestlers. Jake the Snake Roberts ass. Oh, I'm trying to hold niggas up for money.
Yeah.
Ultimate Warrior. I want this. That was that moment.
Mm-hmm.
But they already been through it twice. So what happens when we give you what you want and to you, it might not be enough. Mm-hmm. Now we just paid you. We just gave you everything that we need to give you. And then because you ain't like the fact that we put Lacey Evans over on instead of you,
right.
Now you mad.
Yeah.
We not doing that. Now, mind you, Bang would have took that third chance. It's Sasha Banks.
Right.
You know what?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Knowing that they re-up is coming soon. I'm going to have to pay them more anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, you ain't going to be where they at.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Sasha. and I want to see Sasha in the WWE ring.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also not stupid.
Yeah.
She wrestling again. I'ma see it. I'm a lover of wrestling.
Yeah.
Give a fuck where she wrestle at. Because I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch it. And I know your dream is to go over to Japan.
Right.
Don't do it. Sasha or Mercedes Moné. I won't even call you Sasha no more at this point.
Right.
Mercedes Moné, go to Japan, do your thing, have the match with Kairi Sane, go have other matches with other women in Japan, get your rocks off.
Yeah.
Because basically, what she's taking is the Cody Rhodes approach. Except she ain't have to marry a black man like Cody married a black woman, even though she's black. Because I told y'all, Cody married Brandy. It was a wrap. What happened?
Yeah, no, it literally, both of them got released.
To a T. Everything went down the way I said it was going to go.
Yeah, it was.
But what did Cody do? Cody asked for his release. When he asked for his release, he went to ROH, he did his thing. He went to Japan, he did his thing. He went all over the independents. He went on a world tour. He did his thing. They created AEW. He did his thing at AEW. He's back in the WWE. Arguably a bigger star than he was when he left.
Yeah.
I see the same thing with Sasha. Cody Rhodes approach. Y'all ain't gonna give me that bread. Y'all ain't gonna give me what I want. I bet I'm about to go to Japan. I'm gonna kill it. I'm gonna go in the independents, do my thing for a little bit. I'm gonna kill it. I might go to AEW. I might go to Impact. I'm gonna go over there and kill it. I'll see y'all in a year or two.
Yeah.
And when you see me in a year or two, you're gonna have to break that bank.
Yeah.
Why? Because Bang predicts Bianca Belair will probably be on the John Cena contract in 2 years anyway.
Yeah.
Charlotte might not even be around.
Yeah.
Becky might not be around.
Yeah.
You gonna have to be dealing with the Roxanne Perez's and the Toxic Attractions.
Yeah.
And all of those maybe in a year or two. And Natty slapping her sister's breast.
Shout out to Natty.
Yeah.
And her sister.
So, hey man, Sasha ain't happy. Go do shit to make you happy.
Right. Facts.
That's the end of, for me, ain't no need to be upset at Vince.
Yeah.
Because low key, or Triple H, because low key, knowing what we know about her goals and knowing what we know that is probably not going to happen underneath the WWE umbrella, I'd rather her do her world tour and get her rocks off in Japan now than when she's 38 years old.
Right. And to the question that you asked earlier in regards to Mandy Rose, now Sasha Banks is definitely the person that wants the Tony Khan ideology booking schedule. Like, because if she's allowed to do what Kenny Omega did, like that's kind of what she want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like she want to go to New Japan. Oh, I'm gonna win the belt here. Or I'm gonna have these matches with these people. But then, hey, look, I might want to go to Ring of Honor. Or I might want to go in the Indies. Or yeah, I might want to wrestle with Britt Baker, have a trilogy or whatever here at AEW. I think that, you know, the one Achilles heel, and you're right, is that she left twice. And there's two ways to look at I leave when I'm unhappy when you're a business. And I totally understand it, because it's like, hey, well, look, if we giving you top billing, we putting titles on you, we making sure that you get mic time, you get merch, and you know what I'm saying? So now we got you in all these spaces and places, and then you just up and decide that you don't want to. That's a problem, because it's not the abusing the wellness policy. It's not partying too hard. It's not being a cancer to the locker room. It's just like, I'm out. And it's like, well, damn, we can't even cite this like by saying, hey, we hope Sasha gets better and returns. It's, oh, she decided she's not fucking with us right now. And it is very hard to continue to prop up a person or just elevate a person. I won't even say prop up because prop up has a negative connotation, but it's hard to assist in the constant ascending of somebody when that is their reason that they can't make good on the plans that you had for them.
You hit the nail on the head with that one. I would now the AEW thing is, and I swear I'm not dissing AEW. I don't want this to come off like I'm dissing AEW. But who's the Ric Flair to her Hulk Hogan?
Yeah, see.
If it's Britt Baker, if it's Araya, if it's any of them, all right, that's cool. But to me, there's no Ric Flair to Sasha Banks Hulk Hogan. What that means is when Hulk Hogan came to WCW in 1994, we know what the lit was.
Right.
Put him right in that program with Ric Flair. Let's get it out the way right now. This sounds bad after what our first segment was. But Sasha Banks versus Britt Baker DMD don't excite me. It's just like, oh, it's another match.
Fair time.
And but we've seen Kairi Sane versus Sasha. And we've seen that joint go nuts.
Yeah, facts.
And if you remember correctly, there was no fans there.
Yeah.
During the pandemic.
Yeah.
That joint go smack in Tokyo, Japan.
Absolutely.
And I can't wait for that. All right, man. The last thing we got on the docket is it looks like the cracks are starting to open, and what's gonna happen with Sami Zayn is starting to be revealed. Last week on SmackDown, they was alluding to something special happening in Chicago. Yeah, and the Usos was telling Sami Zayn, go ahead, get a shape up, man. Go get a trim.
You know what I'm saying?
It'll look good. You know what I'm saying?
Get it tapered up.
Right.
And let's
go
just
ahead.
Go.
Right.
Go.
Yeah, let's go in. And that happened. And then at the end of the night, they challenged, Roman Reigns challenged Kevin Owens. But before that, he went on his rant, had a little bit of questions, little slight digs. Sami Zayn went on a rant, said that Kevin Owens is the only friend he got. Oh. Everybody was like, oh, Kevin Owens is you Kevin Owens' only friend? No, I mean, they used to be. And they was like, look, Roman and Sami versus Kevin, and who a partner of his choosing, he ain't got no friends. We all know what that means. Somebody coming. And I started to see on Twitter, apparently, John Cena has wrestled in a match every year for like the past 20 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's going to be at SmackDown on the 30th. So you put 2 and 2 together, and you get Kevin Owens and John Cena versus Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns on the last night of SmackDown for the year. Now, let me first give Kemp from the Port his flowers. Let's first give Kemp from the Port his flowers. Now,
for sure.
Have the last couple of episodes of Raw and SmackDown been thrilling? No. But they've tried. As Kemp said. But what they gonna do? The last SmackDown of the year gonna give you probably the biggest match of the year involving the biggest angle of the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
So they're giving us I know I ain't using the word right, but I'm using it how Puff used it.
Let's do it.
They're giving us a crescendo. They're giving us a crescendo. December 30th on SmackDown by giving us the biggest tag team match of the year. They're bringing in the big guns, John Cena popping out, or Lil John Cena, as I've been starting to call him, popping out. And Kevin Owens, the 4 hottest wrestlers out there right now, I guess you can say. One semi-retired, but he's still hot as hell.
Mm-hmm.
We all know how this gonna end, right, Kim? This ends with Sami Zayn getting pinned and Roman looking at him crazy. Am I tweaking?
You know, this is funny because they've officially put Kevin Owens in the match where he don't like nobody for real. I mean, hey, his Raw debut was against John Cena, and this has been on ever since.
That's why I was like, yo, I got a text. It was like, from Kevin?
Right.
Y'all cool?
Right. I'm thinking, oh, Drew McIntyre. I haven't seen him in a couple of weeks. or just anybody else. Shoot, I even thought maybe even Karrion Kross. I'm like, oh, you're going to give him a partner for the last week of Raw? I'm like, oh. But in the spirit of, again, trying to go big before we go home as far as 2022 is concerned, nothing could be bigger for SmackDown than any match that involves Roman Reigns, John Cena, and one of the hottest indie to main roster feuds ever in Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, right? I don't know what to expect here, Bang, and I'm going to say this because of this reason. We are not in the market to have John Cena, Roman Reigns again. And it matters. We just not. Like, I don't think you can do the whole, oh, it's the 7 series and John Cena's up. Because I don't think we care. I don't think we care that much. You know what I'm saying? Like, where Brock Lesnar is kind of every era just off of schedule alone. John Cena defines an era. And to me, when Roman Reigns beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania, he officially closed the door on that era. It was like, okay, so yeah, it don't matter if John Cena beat me. I beat The Undertaker. That happened twice. Fuck y'all. This is my era now. So we're not in the market to get that. The actual biggest story is Kevin Owens has the fact that Roman Reigns has never beat him clean by himself. But then you have Sami Zayn, who we just know through internet fodder alone that, oh, he wasn't supposed to be in the bloodline this long. And although War Games happened, it does make sense for Sami Zayn to turn on Roman Reigns at the end of SmackDown, leading into the Royal Rumble being one of the last 4, and to build the suspense for what we talked about, I think 2 weeks ago, which was the possibility that a Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn feud could happen on the road to WrestleMania, if not at WrestleMania, because where we sit now in wrestling, that would be the 2 hottest guys in the company going at each other.
Yeah, I think this signals the end. Excuse me. Let me say that again.
Sure.
I do think this signals the end of the Bloodline Sami Zayn. This is the start of your ending, as Mobb Deep would say.
R.I.P. Prodigy.
You know what I'm saying? This is the start of your ending, Sami Zayn. It's that match is going to be taped too. So it would not shock or surprise me if when that match is taped, we find out who wins before the match happens. But starting and ending, Sami Zayn, because y'all lose that match. Roman Reigns ain't taking the pin.
Yeah. No.
In fact, it's been, 3 years since Roman Reigns has taken the pin?
Yeah, damn. Yeah.
He ain't taking his pin, fam, as you.
Wow.
And it's not going to be John Cena who gets the pin.
No.
It's going to be KO. So everybody's going to be looking at you funny because you lost. And then it's going to be Roman Reigns versus KO at the Royal Rumble, because now you can start pushing that match heavy after the first of the year, because you'll have, 3 weeks to promote. And of course, Roman Reigns is going to win that match. But see, that's why the Royal Rumble is so important. And that's why the Royal Rumble is so interesting. Because everything that I told y'all a couple of weeks ago. Because, the reports is that at Montreal, Canada, Montreal, Quebec, Canada, the hometown of Sami Zayn, you're going to get Roman Reigns versus Sami Zayn for the undisputed Universal Heavyweight Championship. That's the room, right? But Elimination Chamber is also that night, because that's the pay-per-view. What would be a bigger pop, Camp?
Because
I'm still sticking with my prediction, fam. And word came out that the WWE has talked about Roman Reigns defending on both nights. And that was before. That happened after I said it, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick with this. I'm going to ask this question. Would the bigger pop be Sami Zayn wrestling Roman Reigns in Quebec, or Sami Zayn winning Elimination Chamber and having a chance to wrestle Roman Reigns at WrestleMania? Which one's the bigger pop? I'm going to say him winning Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, absolutely. Because look, you kind of mail it in when it's Sami versus Roman. It don't matter how good the match looks. It don't matter the story being told. You know the vibes when it's one-on-one Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns. Title or not, you know the vibes, right? But for him to get into the Elimination Chamber, and I'm just going to throw it out there, essentially having Solo Sikoa in the Elimination Chamber and he still win? Bruh. That elevates a different Sami Zayn. Like, that ain't even, that's igniting a different Sami Zayn versus the one that had the most creative finish to a ladder match that we've seen in years.
Talk good shit, man.
That's elevating him to a different level. Like, oh, wait, hold up. Because that wasn't supposed to happen. Even if Solo don't win, that wasn't supposed to happen. And you win at the crib.
To go to WrestleMania?
Right.
So I'm just going to lay my road to WrestleMania out. This is not a guarantee. This is not a guarantee. This is just looking at fan reaction. Because some people would say, does Sami and Roman hit like that? And I'm going to tell you, yes, it does. You want to know why it does? It's not about the names in the match. It's about fan reaction. Didn't expect Daniel Bryan to react to Smack the way that he did. Remember, he's a B+ player.
Yeah.
But it wasn't about Daniel Bryan and his in-ring capability. It was about the emotion brought on to that, with people trying to hold him back. I don't think people really understand how much the fans love Sami Zayn right now.
Yeah.
When you look at the pop of the Bloodline, it's Roman Reigns because that's Roman Reigns. But it's Sami Zayn. You notice the last 2.5 weeks, who had the mic in their hand? Each time, it was Sami.
Yeah.
You heard who got the the biggest pop and or arguably the biggest pop in the bloodline after the ones are thrown up, it's Sami Zayn. Yeah. So you can't tell me in LA at SoFi Stadium that crowd ain't gonna pop louder than how they popped when Daniel Bryan popped up in New Orleans, Louisiana, at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. You can't tell me it's not gonna pop like that. You want to know why? Look at the last month and a half, 2 months. The pop has been Sami Zayn. You said, Kemp, that the bloodline the whole storyline ain't Roman Reigns. It's Sami Zayn and everybody else. And when they jump that man out of the bloodline, the emotions that are going to carry when he loses and on the road to it, you in his hometown?
Yeah.
Bruh. If I was booking, KO Roman Reigns at Royal Rumble. But the dissension in the ranks is starting to happen. And Sami is starting to question, do they get me first or do I get them? And the moment he has the chance to get him, they attack him. And they defeat KO in the process. And they get him in the Royal Rumble. He thinks about it. He's saving all of them. But towards the end, because he know it's a couple of them left, he like, man, what should I do? And they get his ass out. And they try to hit him with oh, man, it's every man for himself. So that's why we did it. But The Rock ended up winning. So they mad at him because he could have kicked The Rock out and he didn't.
Right.
So Rock and Roman Reigns are set for night 2. That's set. But now it's Solo, Jay, Sammy, Seth, Drew, Sheamus, Elimination Chamber. Winner goes to WrestleMania night 1 to see who goes and face Roman Reigns or whoever's the champ at WrestleMania in Montreal, Canada. Roman Reigns ain't wrestling that night because Roman Reigns is taking the Hulk Hogan time off.
Believe it.
So that's your main event. And miraculously beating Jay, Sami Zayn wins Elimination Chamber in his hometown. He goes to WrestleMania night 2. Night 1. That's what I would do.
Okay.
Everybody want to see Rock versus Roman for the family shit and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's y'all fault why we in love with this Sami Zayn shit. Just like it's y'all fault that we was in love with Daniel Bryan in the Yes Movement shit. Just like it's y'all fault that we was so in love with Kofi Kingston. The only difference is Sami not gonna win.
Yeah.
Only difference. And he still remains a sympathetic figure.
Hey, you know what? You've laid out a great timeline, and the other person I want to throw out there is that this is why Zack Ryder wins the Intercontinental ladder match at WrestleMania, but then loses the next night.
Bingo. We gonna get you there.
What I will say that the WWE has done recently in recent era, no matter how fans want to spin it, is that they do give us the win we say we want. Even if it's in the dash, they give us the win, they give us the match, and they give us the win they want. Sammy Uso is internet champion of Zack Ryder. He is Yes Movement Daniel Bryan. He is Kofi Mania. It is in that vein. And even though my prediction is still saying that there is going to be a Sammy versus Jey Uso feud. I can't really speak against what you're saying because, again, WrestleMania is about the hottest guy facing the hottest guy in the business. It is. At the end of the day, they have to make sure that happens. That is why the Undertaker will get his own night. You know what I'm saying? Even if he don't got the belt or not. This is why Roman Reigns has headlined so many WrestleManias, even when he didn't quite have it together. This is why, well, I was gonna say this is why Triple H writes himself into a lot of wrestling matches. But hey, this is also Bianca and why it had to be Sasha Banks. You know what I'm saying? For her first main event at WrestleMania. It's we are in a curious case here. And again, even though, and I saw Keith's statement, yeah, your wrestling brain is telling you Sami versus Roman Reigns don't smack at LA SoFi, right? However, who saw the crowd doing this when Sami Zayn entered the Bloodline?
Not a soul.
and in that regard, you don't dismiss that.
I even go one better for you, Ken.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put it on the bow right now.
Mm.
Because you just said the hottest guy, the hottest wrestlers, the hottest guy. That's what WrestleMania is, right?
Mm-hmm.
You about to get the hottest guy, maybe one of the hottest, the best wrestlers in the planet. Sami Zayn can have a great wrestling match with a broomstick.
Mm.
He had us vested in a match with Johnny Knoxville, which involved a hand smacking machine. He made that match.
Yeah.
Go all the way back to when Sami Zayn first got in the WWE and NXT when he was having great ass matches with Cesaro that everybody had to see.
Mm-hmm.
You put that man in a match against Roman Reigns and you don't think that shit gonna smack?
Mm.
And he the classic underdog.
Yeah.
And he gonna give you that classic underdog match. Bruh, go watch NXT with Sami Zayn in it when all they kept saying is he can't win the big one.
Yeah.
And that man gave you match after match after match after match that smacked.
Yeah.
Now, again, I'm not saying this is gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not putting a guarantee on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, if I was running Raw and SmackDown, if I was the creative and control of the WWE, Sami Zayn would have a hard look at turning on the Bloodline because you're going to start seeing the cracks. But they going to do it at the Royal Rumble, and it's going to cost them the Royal Rumble because The Rock or Cody Rhodes is going to win it. Then it's going to lead to more distinction in the feud you want, Jay and Sami Zayn, going into Elimination Chamber in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, where Sami Zayn wins, and you have to make a decision. How do you do this? Because it's not going to be for the title, in my opinion. Or what I would do. Right. It would be Roman Reigns versus the winner of the Royal Rumble Night 2, the winner of Elimination Chamber Night 1. And Sami Zayn in Montreal, Quebec, Canada is going to get an extreme pop. And us in America are going to be sitting here like, yes, since we that invested. Yeah. And it will be Roman Reigns on 2 nights. He will win night 1 against Sami Zayn, but we will clap it up for Sami because, man. And then eventually him and KO get the tag team championships off of the Usos. At the next night on Raw, that's when you'll see the Usos lose that belt. So
because it is coming.
So let me lay it out for y'all real simple, real quick, so I won't give y'all too much at one time. We already see the distinction in the ranks. We already waiting for the turn to happen. The turn happens inside the Royal Rumble, but it cost them the Royal Rumble because The Rock or Cody Rhodes win the Royal Rumble. But Sami Zayn does what he can, but KO loses his man don't get the belt.
Mm-hmm.
And excuse me, let me remove one of them guys out. Sami Zayn, KO, Drew McIntyre, Jay, Solo Siaka, and Seth Rollins. They all in the Elimination Chamber. The winner of Elimination Chamber wins the right to go wrestle Roman Reigns at WrestleMania Night 1. And Sami Zayn wins at home. And Kevin Owens gives his man the blessing. Go whoop buddy ass. We get the emotional Rocky 4. There's no easy way out. We get all that shit. And at night 1 at WrestleMania, we get the ultimate underdog versus the ultimate favorite. And he beats Sami Zayn. But Sami Zayn gets the Daniel Bryan, Kofi Kingston WrestleMania moment. He just don't come home with the belt. Night 2, The Rock defeats Roman Reigns, and he drops the belt the next day. On Raw, the Usos wrestles Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for the tag team championships, and they win.
Which is an awesome payout for Sami Zayn for everything he's done so far. Wow. Hey, listen, man. I dig it. They do have to have a creative finish to this. I won't say that they have to definitely give us something that we've never seen before, but hey, even Roman Reigns book ending the WrestleMania by like, yo, I'm the only thing y'all need to see in this bitch. So it's like, yo, I'm headline night 1, I'm headline night 2. He got 2 belts. He get plenty time off. Back-to-back nights. He ain't new to that. He true to that. You know what I'm saying? When he wasn't the guy, when he was the struggling big dog, he had to do that. So that's no big feat. I like it. I like it, man. And I think that, wow, that's playing with house money if you're the WWE, because they didn't plan for this. This is probably one of the few times that they didn't plan for something that was even bigger than expected, and multiple people are going to win from it.
Camp, I even go further for you too, just to smooth things out for y'all, right? Because we've seen who's main evented WrestleMania in these last couple of years before. Let's say, for instance, they do the Bianca and the Charlotte match, which is very much main event quality for WrestleMania. You have Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn night 1, because you would be sad as hell, but you could get over Sami Zayn losing night 1.
Yeah, for sure.
Get that. Make that the first. Make Roman Reigns have the first match of WrestleMania and the last match of WrestleMania, and still have Bianca and Charlotte main event night 1.
I like it. That ain't bad at all. You know what? Hey, Keith just sent us a question here, and I guess you know, this actually is a good question.
So that's actually going to be in the quick hits,
Boom.
And it was quick hit number 1. Bobby Lashley storyline. What are your thoughts?
Man, I'm going to go back to what I've been saying. Bobby Lashley is still the uncrowned WWE champion, man. He still is. And I think that as we get into this road to WrestleMania, it's going to be clearly defined, because again, somebody eventually needs to really put and apply real pressure to Roman Reigns. And right now, even with all the Brock Lesnar talk that they got going on, that's still Bobby Lashley from all the full-time competitors. So do I see Brock Lesnar taking a real bad L to Bobby Lashley to finally prove his point? Yes. Because what better way to prove that you deserve Roman Reigns at a premium live event than taking off the guy essentially the only guy who officially and literally put down Brock Lesnar for good in Roman Reigns.
I agree, and I can't wait. If my prediction comes true, I can't wait to see Bobby Lashley in the finals of the WWE World heavyweight championship or universal championship, because them belts getting split at WrestleMania or the WrestleMania after all. And it's going to be interesting to see who gets that other belt. But I think all of this stuff firmly puts Bobby Lashley in world title contender status. I actually wouldn't be surprised to see Bobby Lashley versus Roman Reigns at Elimination Chamber. But, who am I? I'm just the podcast host. Speaking of Brock Lesnar, reportedly, allegedly, the WrestleMania card, or at least the bigger matches, are set with Triple H, and one of them involves Brock Lesnar versus Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania. Your thoughts?
They've billed Brock Lesnar so well that the Intercontinental title is far beneath him. Brock Lesnar competes for world titles, or he doesn't compete in my eyes. Somebody needs to beat Gunther for that belt before you get to that match. I'm sorry. Because I want to see the match. And I hate to say this, and it's going to sound contradictory to how I feel about titles in general, because, I am the podcast Intercontinental champion as well. I want you to know that. But that belt cheapens that match. That match happens for no reason. I will watch that match on World Star. You dig? Like, I don't need the Intercontinental Championship. I would watch that on a YouTube short. I would have watched that on 20 Vines. I would have watched that any fucking where. It ain't gotta be for nothing other than two big ass white boys fight. I'm in for
it. I disagree with you only because of what you just said. I think it elevates a Gunther win elevates the Intercontinental Championship.
Okay.
I think Gunther's doing a good job, because that match with him and Ricochet smacked, fam. Man, and Gunther haven't been in a match for that belt where it haven't been dope.
That's true.
And while I agree with you on the premise, the WWE gonna do some shit where Brock Lesnar is going up for a belt that he ain't never got. Right. Because he never went for it.
Right.
So Brock Lesnar really can be like, just same reason why he went for the WWE World Championship for. I just want it. I just want it. You're doing a good ass job with it. It's nice. I want it. So I'm gonna take it. And Gunther's like, oh no, hell no. Fuck you. And it ends up being two white men bumping me at WrestleMania in what I think would be one of the matches of the decade at WrestleMania. Like them two in a match, you're right. I'll watch that match anywhere it's at. And it don't have to be for the Intercontinental Championship. Just as long as it happens.
Yeah.
But the WWE is going to put some twist around how that's the first time he's ever went for this and all of this stuff. And it's going to make us be like, oh, well, that's a good point. Because I still remember when Ric Flair went for the Intercontinental Championship, and I was like, why? It's Ric Flair. But then when he had it, I was like, oh, okay. It's Ric Flair. He should have had this belt once before. Yeah. So, yeah, but I don't think he'll win it. I think he'll give Gunther the rub, which would enhance the Intercontinental Championship and enhance Gunther as well. Because I think on the low, Gunther, it's not been on the low, but I think people need to respect the matches that he's been having. And they need to stop playing. They need to stop playing the bullshit around it. All right, man. It was a report that came out that Triple H is unhappy with some of the recalled up people. Some of the people he re-signed since he got back. Who do you think those people are?
Oh man. See, that's rough. That's rough.
If it's true.
But right. If it's true, I ain't going front. I think it's Hit Row. I think damn, who else? Shit, I guess you can kind of throw Elias in there. Man, I don't. You know what? It's wide open in the sense that everybody that came back, they kind of just getting started. Like, you ain't pulling the page. I'm gonna show up on Raw the first night and win the women's title. Like,
right, and that's why I don't believe that report. Yeah. I don't believe that report simply because what you was gonna put the world title on them or some shit.
Yeah,
like Karrion Kross was the only person that was put in a good ass position. But when you look at it, it wasn't a position to win the world championship. It was a position to wrestle against Drew McIntyre and to put him in the conversation. He still is in the conversation. But Hit Row wasn't coming back to win the championships because the Usos got them both. Elias wasn't coming back to win the Intercontinental or the United States Championship. I think he might be more important. Excuse me. I think he might be more disappointed that the fans are not giving the reaction to some of the people like he wants them to. But I didn't expect anything to go the way that is like differently.
Yeah,
it's going the way I thought it was gonna go.
Yeah, like, and the only reason why I threw out Hit Row first is because they spent 2 months talking. And it's like, I don't think you need that. I don't think you need talking and SoundCloud snippets to sell them. It's like, yo, just get in there and wrestle. And like, and then they did jobber matches. So now it is finally good to see them like the last 2-3 weeks having matches against real competition, even though obviously that dive didn't go so well. But outside of that, it is just good to see them in matches. I think that the not understanding what they do thing doesn't mean that you don't understand wrestling, Paul. So let's get to that.
And speaking of Hit Row, maybe one of the funniest botches since Titus O'Neil and falling under the mat happened on Friday when our man Top Dollar tried to jump over the top rope. It ain't work out so well.
Man. No, it did not. That look and what's funny is that it ended up looking like a very creative way to just get out the ring. So that's why it's real funny to me. It looked like he was like, yeah, all right, I'm out. Like he could have just walked back up the ramp and he'd been cool. But the match was still going on. Man, I seen him say, hey, he showed a clip of him doing it when he was 50 pounds heavier and how his leg gave out. And my only thing is, okay, that's cool, but you still messed up though.
Yeah.
Like, I think, and you know what? This is why Gunther is separate from Keith Lee and Top Dollar. Because there's too much praise in the black community for being the big ass dude that can do athletic shit. Right? It's like, but you should still want to be at your best self, my boy. Like, we get it. Nobody's saying that you're not great at what you do, but don't you just want to be a touch better? Hey, 10 pounds might have elevated you another 2 inches, and then you would have cleared that regardless.
Hey, man, as the fat guy on the show who got a bad knee, hey, man, sometimes you just got to let go and let God. I've said to myself months ago, I'm not trying to dunk on nobody. I'm not trying to jump downstairs. I'm not trying to do any of that shit that I was doing 5 years ago, let alone now. I'm scared to jump up. Man, when I do exercises, I do the low part of it. I don't do the high end of it. They say do jumping jacks. I'm doing the leg out. My knee hurt right now. I worked out before this. My knee hurt right now. And I got icy hot around here. And Top Dollar younger than me.
Yeah, man.
And he's more athletic than me. He's been in the NFL and all that shit. At the same time, when he did that jump and he didn't make it, as a fellow fat guy, I was like, damn, the internet finna cook his ass. And they did.
Yeah.
Sometimes, fam, you just gotta just stick to the ground and pound, fam.
Yeah.
Stick to the power bombs and heavy clotheslines. Stick to those. Because once that happens, nah, fam. And I be scared that y'all gonna hurt people anyway. Yeah. I don't need Keith Lee. I don't even like it when Keith Lee do Spanish flies and stuff. Man. Because what if that go wrong, fam? You fat. Right. It's just not gonna work out. So, nah.
The one thing I will say before we close this out, though, hey, look, even the botches in WWE look safer than the ones in AEW. But y'all don't need the Performance Center, though.
That's something I didn't think about either. A lot of things I didn't think about. I forgot all about. Got Xavier Woods and them. I forgot. Man, you're right though. You're right. You're right though. Because when he hit that top rope, I was like, well, at least he hit the top rope.
Yeah. Hey, I'm telling you, it looked like a semi-fly exit. Yeah. Like we just know it. We knew it was something else. But if he would have just did that to get out and grab a chair and hit somebody, we wouldn't have said nothing.
No, we wouldn't have. Wow, well, this has been a great show, ladies and gentlemen. And nah, man, AEW Dark ain't the Performance Center.
It should be, but it ain't.
It's not. The Performance Center has a gym. You work out. There's 3 rings. There's promo centers. Like you work on promos. You work on interviews. You work on all of that. That ain't Dark.
Yeah.
Dark is just niggas wrestling.
Literally, only them too.
That's it. It was okay.
Oh man. Listen, man, we sincerely appreciate y'all.
We do.
For tuning into this week's show, man. We have a blast doing this. But you guys make it that much special. You do that with your likes, your comments, your shares, your questions, participating in the live, and just being a very positive and entertaining spirit and source of energy as we do this every single week. And just understand
before you even finish, because it just popped up, fam. Top Dollar trying to jump over that top rope was very reminiscent of Lil Yachty trying to dunk.
Oh no. You
just got to take the L like he did. Oh, it didn't work out.
Hey, you dig?
Shouts out to Pedro Morales, who's on the screen right now.
You know what I'm saying? Pedro?
Roman Reigns is coming for you, nigga.
You know what I'm saying? You dig what I'm saying? Hey, you know, you know what? Actually, man, hold on, because we did. Do you have a guarantee this week?
No, I don't. I do not have a guarantee, but what I will say is normally I would start doing it by now. But I'm going to start doing my Royal Rumble prediction series. I'm going to start doing that after December 1st. So the first podcast of 2023 will have my prediction of who is going to win the Royal Rumble. It's fluid. It might be changing, but yeah, you had it first.
There it is. I don't have a guarantee, but eventually I do. After I have more information, I want to explain to y'all the difference between what Matt Riddle is going through versus what Mandy Rose went through. I don't think it's important to talk about it right now, but I think that deserves more time than we can give it right now. So I will be discussing that at a later date. But again, man, circling back, thank you all. 2022 has still been an amazing year, and we got a couple episodes left per se because Christmas is on the Sunday. But
I got an idea that I'm going to, after the show, I got an idea.
Here it is. So, hey, man, understand it. If you ever want to talk about wrestling in an unconventional way, you do so by checking out the First Black Champ podcast. pick. Bang. We are out. Fuck Johnny Wrestling. Fuck Matt Bloom.